Greetings, everybody! Welcome once more to the Dracovin Empire. Are you ready to dive back into Golarion, the world of Pathfinder? For if you are, we're going to be visiting a nation today that is almost unknown. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to talk about it a little bit and teach you a little bit about it, but I'm here to wet your whistle, interest you in this place, and maybe Paizo will explore it more in the future. But for now, I'm going to open up our portal to time, space, and the universe from our Earth to Golarion, so we may explore this place, just the little bits of it from afar that we know about. We're going to be visiting a city that is connected to it through trade, Olirant. And that is from where we will learn about our target today, Kaladay. I am your host and guide here, Tantus Naravan Dracovin. I'm ready to guide us there. Please do just take my hand. It's for safety's sake, keep you close by. I don't want you getting lost out in the dimensional streams, but do remember to give me a little bit of tip over on the YouTube side of things, whether you're over there now or can join me there later on. Remember to be subscribed, of course, like the video, and let me know what you think of this. Was this an interesting topic to explore? Would you want to visit this nation? Would you want Paizo to tell us more about places like this? Hey, it's more interest in locations like this, like Kaladay. Let's go. The portal's open. We have arrived in the Khazar city of Olirant, the de facto capital of this nation that also we don't know a lot about. I'll have to do a video on it at some point in time, but we know more now that, Gorham just did the entire horrible death thing, and some influence happened here. But here we can start to learn about some of the people of Kaladay. They don't really let folks in, but there are some sources that do talk about it a little bit, in usually relationships to other places. These are the main ones that I looked into, but there are other sources that probably will talk about it. Places that talk about things like Khazra, Khazmaran, TNZ, Taldor, all these other places that connect up with this tangentially. But the main things here would be, of course, the campaign guides from 1st edition and world guide from 2nd edition give you basics. And Distant Shores is the very helpful place because Olirant, the city we're in right now, is described in Distant Shores. Not the full country there, but one of the cities in it, which gives us a view of both that nation and a little bit of Kaladay. So this map here is a in-universe map. So as I usually combine these images that I give you from ones that you can be seeing in the game versus in the visit to there, this is one of those ones that if I was in Golarion, like we are now, this is a map we could purchase. It's not a great map. It's a fine map, but you can kind of see where Khazmaran, Grund, Aveston, Arcadia, TNZ, all the major continents are. Kaladay is basically on the opposite shores of TNZ on Khazmaran. That's what it is. It's a kingdom that's basically on the east side, to the east of the Castrovinian Sea, and on the edge of the area there. Exactly where it's at, hard to say. The fact is, it's a land of plains, fabulous cities, and it's known to be descended from colonists from TNZ who basically largely wanted to be left alone. The people there are very xenophobic. They don't have people visiting them very often, and especially not people from the Inner Sea. Not means that you couldn't be a scholar from the Inner Sea region and know about Kaladay. It's just that knowledge of its existence isn't hidden. People actually going there isn't a thing. So the fact is, because these people are fairly xenophobic, there are a lot of impressive city bans for all foreigners entering them. There are cities that just prevent foreigners from entering. And again, because they do some trade through Khazra, one of their neighbors along a powerful trade route that sometimes goes through there. It's not a common trade, but it's enough of a trade, this area, that if you go to the Sunrise Triangle, you could find some interesting items from Kaladay, rare and bizarre relics that mark this strange city. And this strange civilization, I should say. Now, here is a map I found online. It's probably not, again, not a great map, and this might be more of a fan-made map, but I liked it because it does kind of give you an impression where in Khazmar and Kaladay is, the general area. And I think that's why this is very important here. So, what do we know about Kaladay beyond all this kind of things here? Not a lot. I think that's the kind of way we talk about it. Kaladay is legendary. It's a place known. It's a place that if I'm visiting good old Ular Kel, I can talk to people that may have been from there or gone there to do some trade. But yeah, basically the long wagon roads between Ular Kel to Kaladay hide a lot. You know, it's one of these things that their people are almost entirely unknown. We do, again, knowing that they are settlers from TNZ is an important part about knowing about them, but there is so little that exists. There are some hints about them that do exist. For one thing, basically the records of Turin Ovolva is basically a writ by a Taldor person who's said to have visited there. He details a journey from Opera to Kaladay and a province there of Yen Shuan. But again, there is some inaccuracy that's assumed to be there. So Yen Shuan could very well be a province within Kaladay on the far side of Casmeron. But what was going on there in the book might not be accurate. And I think that's the problem that happens with that. The stories he tells are exaggerated. There's probably a grain of truth to it, because there is some grain of truth to it if you have historians look at it. But this is like one of the major things in the Inner Sea World Guide that hints at this stuff here. Another big one is there is some speculation there are people from Kaladay in Kermaga. Kermaga, the Varisian city, Kermaga in Abyston, Kermaga on nearly the opposite side of the world. Most of the way across the world. Basically, we know they're descendants of Tian colonists. That's the major thing. But there's a group called the Sweet Takers. They're mysterious inhabitants of Kermaga. And there is many rumors that say they are descendants of Kaladay. But they're this unusual ethnic religious group that is here with their monotheistic religion and their strict rules doesn't really state enough. And it could be that they were driven out from Kaladay for various reasons. It could be that they connect up with the ways of Kaladay. It's really hard to say because they have a very unique look that feels like it could very well be a mixture of bloodlines that could be from Casmeron and TNZ. Casmeron from some of their physical appearance, their skin color and hair color tend to be from that region. Not necessarily, sometimes that kind of things. Their lighter brown skin and thicker black hair can be from areas of TNZ, but the top knot they wear, it's not necessarily distinctive style there. But again, these things are tangentially could be related to this region of Kaladay, which is most likely a mixture of cultures. A people that settled from TNZ onto the continent there and developed into their own unique culture, and maybe even changed physically, adapting that. Maybe with local peoples that were there, eventually confining their bloodlines to something new and different. They have this very distinctive features, this very distinctive look, and very distinctive belief system, and they don't share anything about that. They don't confirm anything, they let things be suspected there, and so this is like another hint on Kaladay. But again, it's not a lot. And that's all I got. That really is all we have on Kaladay. There's so very little that we know about this nation. We know all about TNZ. We could probably trace back various ethnic cultures if we knew more about Kaladay to know which ones settled from there. These people that probably, for whatever reason, wanted to be by themselves, wanted to be separate, took the powerful journey from TNZ to the west, across the water there, to Casmeron, and settled the land there. That is a very dangerous travel. Very dangerous. And they did it, which is impressive. They were successful in navigating the oceans there and survived it. They crossed the Emerald Ocean and found their way to Casmarin. But again, the exact location of their nation, and again, this is the thing about Casmarin and a couple other continents being vastly unknown. We know like maybe 50% of Casmarin, but there's a huge 50% we don't know about, and Kaladay is one of them. We know it's there, we know some basics about it, but there's so much more to explore. And will we ever explore it? I don't know. It's one of those things is I would love for Paizo to come in and explore many of the other continents because they are fascinating. They have great cultures and things like that. As much as the Inner Sea and, you know, and other places need more exploration, Southern Garund, I think, needs to be visited. Casmaron, Arcadia is a big one. I would love for the other continent, Sassarin, if I'm saying that, I keep saying his name. Saracen to be explored. You know, it's just that we don't have it. So, I would love for these continents to be explored more. We know a lot about the Crown of the World. We know about Northern Garund. We know about Aveston. We technically know about Aslan because it's a pile of ruins, and there really isn't a lot to know about. And we know all about TNZ. Give us more TNZ world guides. Give us a Casmarin world guide. Give us an Arcadian world guide. Give us a Sassarin world guide. Give us a Casmarin world guide. I would love that. Anyway, I think that'd be it. I hope you enjoyed this one. It wasn't a big one. It wasn't a major one, but I think it was an important one because talking more about these places gets more interest in them, gets more people talking about them, gets possibly Paizo doing some of these books and deep dives into places that would be fascinating to explore on a massive, interesting planet. Golarion. Please check out the rest of my stuff, whether it's over live on Twitch or over on YouTube. If you're live with me on Twitch, you can see videos like this where I record them for YouTube. You can still see my live plays. Fall of Avonswell, Wednesdays at 8 is my current one, but any of my live plays, which are always archived over on YouTube, so if you haven't seen the new ones, you can always see the old ones too. Discussing Tabletop Saturdays at 6, which is my kind of talk show podcasty thing, maybe eventually for actual podcast. We talk about news of the week, interesting, deeper topics within the tabletop sphere that we kind of discuss. All these, along with some video games, hang with friends, just chatting. That's all you can check out if you're joining me over on Twitch. But if you're over on YouTube, that's what all the tabletop stuff is. I might have a VOD channel for every non-tabletop thing at some point in time. But for now, if you just want to see some tabletop, check me out there. Make sure you're subscribed, you're liking the videos, and of course, make sure you comment. It helps engage with everything over there. Check out my social media for updates, what's going on, and until the next time. We dive into places like this. We explore them just so that you know a little bit about them, and maybe it whets your interest, gets you into them. Or maybe we deep dive. Until those times, I bid you all a deep and wonderful farewell.